guys, this is Julia from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with a pretty incredible bins haul. That's the Goodwill bins, also known as the Goodwill outlet, not to be confused with the regular Goodwill store. It's a pretty incredible haul for you today, and I swear to God, I blacked out. I was like going through these items, like checking them into my inventory, as I always do really quick before I film the haul. And I kind of don't remember putting a lot of these things in my bag. Not that I'm upset that they ended up in my bag, I just kind of don't remember finding them in the bins at all. But I have about 42 items, I think it's 42 items, and a couple things that I've purchased for like friends and family, but some incredible pieces, some incredible like vintage pieces that I cannot wait to show you. But first and foremost, if you are new here, welcome. I am so happy to have you along. We talk all things thrifting and vintage here. If you are into treasure hunting at the thrift store, if you are into vintage pieces, if you are into reselling on the internet, hit subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. We're building this incredible community. We have a lot of fun here, and I would love to have you with us. But without further ado, guys, let's get into the goods. So first thing I found here, and I recognize these immediately from this exceptionally tall waistband, is these little Free People Movement, I think this is called the Way Home shorts. They're like little jog shorts, they're lined, but these are like in perfect condition. I love this kind of like burnt sunset color. They're size small. These retail for like 58 bucks, I think. I'll probably get 15 or 20 bucks on them, but they will sell quick. I've sold a couple pairs of these in the past, and they do have a really like quick sell-through rate. Next up, these are two pieces that I got for friends and family. First up, I found this this NYPD hat. I'm pretty sure that this is like department issued. If you look at, I mean, the tag on the inside is NYPD. If you look at some of the SKUs, it's all like CNY, which typically stands for like City of New York. So I'm assuming that this was like an official hat. So, but anyway, I bought this for my sister-in-law. She lives in New York. She loves all things New York. And this is like a really high quality hat. So I thought she might like that. Next up, this is another piece that I got for a friend of mine who has been in the market for like a little black cotton vest. She's a teacher. This is very much her teacher era outfit. I don't know if this will fit. It's like a little Lucky Brand vest. It's 100% cotton lined as well. Just a real simple a little simple vest in great shape. It is so wrinkled, but that'll press out really nicely. Next up is this great pair of Everlane jeans. Everlane kind of came onto the scene as a company where you could go and get like designer quality staples without the middleman markup. And they've really stayed true to that kind of ethos throughout their entire existence. And every piece that I've had from them has really, truly been, you know, fantastic quality. But this is a pair of their black, straight, regular cropped jeans. I think that's what they're called, like the black crop or something like that. Denim quality is as to be expected. Fantastic. The finishing is really nice. I can't find the size in here, and I don't think that there's a place that they kind of like hide it in the jeans. I think it might just have been torn out at some point. They feel like a size 26 or 27. You know, despite the fact that they do sell, I want to say that their retail price is like $98, which is still expensive for a pair of jeans, but you are really, truly getting a pair of jeans that are, you know, $300 quality. You know, still I'll probably get 30 or 40 bucks on these, and I think that they'll sell pretty quickly because they are just a perfect pair of like black basic jeans. Also, check out the butt pocket. I love that. So nice. It's one of the things that I notice about Everlane. There's no like this pocket is here for show action. Like the pockets are real and they're deep, and you can put a whole phone in there or a whole wallet. Please more of that, manufacturers. Please more of that. Next up, and this is the first of a couple Zara pieces that I got, which is very unlike me, but I found a couple pieces that like I was pretty excited about. First up is this cute little like horrifically wrinkled Oh my god, it's so bad. It's just like a little tie-dye baby doll drawstring top. This could easily be worn as like a beach cover-up or just a regular top. It's super cute. It's a size medium, nice and oversized. It's got like little peasant sleeves. You know, I'll probably get 20, 25 bucks for this, and this will probably sell pretty quickly. Stuff like this from Zara sells quick. And it is very, very cute. Next up, this is one of the things that I really thought that I put back in the bins and did not. I'm telling you, it was a day. Anyway, it's this cute little like red dress from C&C California. It is lined. It has this cute little back with a kind of a gray strap across it, but it is a low back. It's a size extra small. I mean, it's definitely something that I probably would have put back. I don't think I'll get more than like 10 or 15 bucks on this. But it is cute, and it is C&C. They do tend to sell pretty well for me. But it's got this kind of like, let me see if I can show you this. It's got like an asymmetrical hemline, which is cool. And then the hemline is actually split. So you have a split on the long end and on the short end. It's super cute. Yeah, again, 10 or 15 bucks for it. I don't anticipate selling that before summer. Next up, this was kind of a cool find. This is a pair of Paige jeans. That's the logo there. Paige jeans are pretty high end. They generally retail around $200. And these are called the Federal Fit. These are men's. They're size 32. And they're in this kind of like cool red wash. I think that these will move pretty quickly. And they are in like perfect condition. Like, they don't feel like they've been worn all that frequently. I'm not surprised they're a red jean. It's not something that can be like worn and reworn and reworn without notice like a pair of like blue jeans or black jeans can. But again, I think that these retail for like $200, and I'll probably still get 35, 40 bucks on these. Again, a great find, great find. Next up, and this is so linty because I had it next to another sweater. This is a great, I grabbed this early in the day because it was a real slow start to the morning, and then it really started to pick up. But this is just like a little Madewell, you know, super cozy knit cardigan. Again, it's covered in lint, so I have to get the lint roller on it. You know, maybe 20 bucks on this. This should sell pretty quickly, especially right now. Next up, oh, this was kind of a cool find. This is a little FP1 dress, and I've had a couple pieces, and I hope you're like taking note. They have this like little metal disc, that's the logo. So this is one of the sub brands to Free People. And it's this cute little strapless dress. It's got this little like U wire in the middle. It's a size small, but it's got this pretty floral print. And where is it? I think it's on this side. And like a little surprise slit. And it's fully lined in this like silky material. It's got a raw hem there at the bottom. This kind of like gives me, there's a specific dress made by the House of CB, this kind of like floral line that they're doing right now. And this kind of gives me that vibe, that almost like a little bit prairie, but still very much true to like the Free People style. I think this will go pretty quickly. Again, the FP1 line tends to move a little bit quicker for me than like the mainline Free People stuff, but probably 35 bucks, maybe 40 on this. Not quite sure, but it was definitely a great find. I love this dress. So next up, there is this brand that I have seen a couple times in the bins. I've never sold it, but the quality, every time I pick it up, the quality is really nice. And I hadn't really picked it up yet before because there are a lot of basics. You know, it's like a long sleeve t-shirt. And that is a brand called Fresh Produce. Like I said, their quality feels a lot like poetry to me. I know I've had a few poetry pieces on here before. Really nice finishing. The textiles are always fantastic. They feel like the kind of t-shirts that you can have in your regular rotation for years and years and years without them kind of falling apart. And I stumbled into kind of a pile of them. It must have been like a raw donation from somebody's closet. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give them a try. They were in there with a bunch of pieces from Cut Loose, which I'll talk about that in a minute. But Cut Loose is a similar brand that I found and kind of felt and thought that the quality was great. And they sold great for me for a pretty good price considering that they were basics. So I grabbed a couple of them. This is the first of several. This is like a one size fits all. It's just like a black kind of cropped t-shirt with like oversized sleeves. I really love this. Like I might keep this for myself. This is a very me style t-shirt. So I'm gonna guess somewhere between 15 and 20 in all of these. I'll try to report back when one of these sells. So, you know, even if one sells between now and when I publish this video, I want to let you know, I think that this is going to end up being a Bolo brand. It has a couple standalone boutiques and it's sold in boutiques, but I don't know if I would necessarily consider this like a boutique store. This has a standalone boutique in Laguna Beach, which is a very wealthy town here. So if you're having a standalone boutique in Laguna Beach, chances are you've got enough of a following to like support that overhead cost. Here is another one. This is another one size piece, like one size fits all. And I think these are, I don't know if these are linen cotton or if these are just slub cotton. Yeah, just 100% cotton. But this is like a nice slub knit, little like taupe kind of mushroom pocket tee, 3/4 length sleeves. Again, I'm thinking somewhere between 15 and 20. There's, I think, 2 more throughout the rest of the haul, so I'll let you know when they come up. But next up here, we've got a cute little Intimately Free People, cute little camisole. It's a size small. It's got this little like snap detail on the front. Very cute. These always sell. This isn't going to sell for probably more than 15 bucks. It is in like perfect condition, so that's why I grabbed it. But the Intimately stuff always sells really quickly for me because there are people who just love it. Next up, now this is something I don't often pick up. Again, it started really slow yesterday, but this is like a newer tag, Urban Outfitters, cute little oversized, like fuzzy V-neck sweater. It's got some like interesting seaming on the back. I like the color. It's in fantastic condition. Like this does not feel like it's really been worn. Kind of blousey sleeves. You know, I'll probably get 20 bucks on this. And I think that this will sell pretty quickly. Urban Outfitters doesn't necessarily sell for the most amount of money, but certain pieces do sell very quickly. And I think this is going to be one of them. Oh, next up, we've got another one of the fresh produce pieces. This one is actually sized at an XL. And it's this absolutely, look at this color. Isn't this gorgeous? This kind of like periwinkle, beautiful light purple. I wish you could feel this. I mean, like I said, I think that this is going to end up being a Bolo brand. And I rolled the dice. I think I got 4 pieces, maybe 5. You know, again, they were $1 a piece, so it wasn't a huge gamble for me, but, you know, really stay tuned on these because I have seen them quite a bit. And if they are a Bolo brand, I'm going to be happy to add that to like my always grab pile. Okay, here is one of the tops that I found it with, and this is Cut Loose. And Cut Loose is a brand that I found. There was like a linen t-shirt. It was brand new with tags. As a matter of fact, it just sold this morning. How about that? So the first piece I found just sold this morning, and you know, again, I paid $1 for it, and it sold for $30. I'd found another piece a couple weeks ago, and it sold within 2 days. It was a brown Cut Loose top. Found it for $1, sold it for $33. So definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. They're super tiny, but they are out of San Francisco, I believe, and they cut and sew. Like everything's dyed and made in California. And this is just kind of like one of those like kimono type tops. It's one size fits all. Can you see that like floral? It's like a rose burnout. Just a really pretty little top. And this was what I found all of these fresh produce pieces with, which just kind of tells me that like, I think that they're going to be in the same vein in terms of sales. But yeah, that was a cool find. I think probably 30 bucks on this. The quality, again, is really beautiful. Definitely a brand to be on the lookout for, although I just don't know if you're going to find too much of it outside of California. Next up, ooh, this was a good one. Okay, so this is Madewell. And I believe that this is an older model, but this is a style of shirt called the camp shirt. And you see that sleeve? That's how you know it's a camp shirt. And the camp shirts have a real following. It's something that people will like put in the search box for. And this had this adorable little like novelty print of, oh, I thought that they were penguins. They are not penguins. They're like pelicans? I'm not quite sure what those little birds are, but aren't they adorable? Little all over print. It's in perfect condition. I think it's a size medium. But as you're shopping, like I would never say to pick up every Madewell piece because not every Madewell piece sells. But certain models, especially this one, that camp shirt, the sleeve people really love. It's super flattering. And this is in like perfect conditions, maybe worn once or twice. Next up, this was such a beautiful little find. This is a tiny little wisp of a dress. Look at that color. This is obviously 100% silk. The brand is Whistles London. And this is a pretty high-end brand. This is all beaded up here on the sleeves. It's beaded front and back. Look at that darting. It's just lovely. Look at the flower gather at the waist. So this is a brand, this was probably a $400 or $500 dress when it was brand new. Again, 100% silk. The silk is in beautiful condition. Probably get somewhere between 40 and 60 on this. It is a UK size 8, so a US size 4. So it's kind of a smaller size. It's a little mini skirt. I can easily see this being like a little New Year's event. So cute. I couldn't leave this behind. Like it's definitely going to be a specific sale. If it doesn't sell for New Year's, it might take a little bit of time to sell it. But like when you find something like this in the bins, it's just like, it goes against my conscience to leave it. Next up, we've got another fresh produce piece. This one is sized as well. Oh no, I'm sorry, this is one size. And this is a cute little, just like a cool brown cap sleeve t-shirt. Again, same deal. I will keep you all posted on how those go. But like I said, I stumbled into a big old pile of them. And I left some behind too. Ah, yes. Next up, now guys, I found this in a bin. This was kind of where my day turned. Like it started out being kind of slow and, you know, I wasn't finding too much stuff. And then I went to, I was kind of like working my way down the bins and I was in the bins that were about to get taken out for table change. For those of you who have never done the bins, in most places, not all places, change the tables during the day. But they'll kind of call table change and they'll pull out an entire row of bins and bring in new stuff. That's why you stay all day. It's why I can't wait to have a day where I stay all day. But literally, like I picked this up as they were calling table change, where you have to kind of get off the floor and let the workers do their thing. Guys. Hello. Johnny was, and I mean about to be pulled off the floor. These had been picked over for probably 2 hours. It's this beautiful little silk dress, pin tucking detail, this embroidery. This feels like cross stitch. That is cross stitch detail right there. And again, on the back, you've got that beautiful pin tucking detail. You know, this is a $300 or $400 dress new. I'll probably get, I don't know, somewhere between $60 and $100, depending on the dress and if it's super in demand or whatever. But isn't that beautiful? Do you believe it? This is about to be taken away. These are the moments where I'm like, these are the moments where I struggle to leave the bins because I'm like, what else is in there? Like, what else like this is about to be taken off to the landfill or sold overseas? Incredible. Next up, this is a brand that I've bought a couple times before. This is Easel. And I think that they were sold in Anthropologie at one point, but they're also sold, this is kind of like a higher end boutique brand, I'm almost positive. But it's this cute little sweater, and this color is like a pinky brown. I don't really know how to describe it, but looking at it up close, I think it looks a little different on the camera. It's kind of like a pinky brown. It's like a taupe. Really pretty. It's a size, size large, but look at these sleeves. I am obsessed with these sleeves. It's kind of nice, heavy. They've got gathers on both sides. And people just really love, like if you think about Free People, one of the most in-demand pieces from Free People are those kind of like knit cuff Henleys. And like people seek them out. They have a cult following. If you find one, it's going to be sold in like 2 days. It might be sold for $100. So people just love a sleeve with interest. And I just thought this was a great find. It's in fantastic condition, probably somewhere between 25 and 35 bucks on this. Next up, ooh, another gem. Hello, Tory Burch. Love to find Tory Burch in the bins, and I don't find her all that often. I barely find her in the thrift. And this is 100% silk, little shell top. It's navy blue. This feels absolutely, positively brand new. Like this doesn't, I'm like looking at the armholes here. I truly don't think that this was ever worn. And it's a size 14, which love to find it in Tory Burch, because you never, like every Tory Burch piece I've ever found has been like a size 2 or a size 4. Isn't that gorgeous? Probably somewhere between 35 and 45 because it's all silk. We'll see, but fantastic find. Next up, now this was kind of a fun one that I picked up because I felt the textile. Like, these are just a pair of black leggings. They feel like kind of thermal base layer leggings. And again, I used to live in a ski town, so this is something that I am very familiar with. Like, I know what a good pair of base pants feels like. And I felt this, I'm like, oh, this is very nice. And I looked, and there's like, I don't think that there's a way that I'm even going to be able to show you this on camera. Can you see what that says there? I saw it, and I mean, by the grace of my eyes that aren't doing so well, I was able to see that said Alexander Wang. Alexander Wang is a crazy high-end designer. This is his collab with Uniqlo. Like if these were Alexander Wang, like his line, these would probably resell for like $200. But these are the Uniqlo ones, and I believe that they retail for $100. These will still probably resell for about $50. Definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. These are size medium. They are the Uniqlo Heat Tech. That's what the Heat Tech label looks like. And they've got, I don't know if that's gonna show up. They have like little chevron pattern on it. The great find and in perfect condition. I don't think that those have ever been worn. Love to find it. Next up, we've got another one of the Zara pieces that I found. And look at this cute little thing. This is, again, this feels like it's never been worn. It's this cute, I keep wanting to call this mustard, but it's not really a mustard. It's almost like a paper bag color, but a cute little like V-neck faux wrap dress. And I love this kind of gather across the middle. I'm gonna try to, let me see if I can show you how this works here. So it's got a tie on the back and a tie on the front. So you can cinch it in the waist, and you have like a little tie on the side. So it kind of looks like a little paper bag waist, but you're just, you know, this is elastic underneath. So it can be really comfortable, and you can still have that cinched, snatched waist. This is a size medium. Yep, size medium. Again, I think that this is brand spanking new. I don't think it's ever been worn. Probably 25 bucks on this, maybe a little bit more. Next up, I might need a little help from all of you on this one. Now I generally have a policy of, if it's weird and it's well made, I'm going to pay attention. And while this is not a brand I'm not unfamiliar with, the style is. So this is Champion. This is, I think that was like the Champion line that they had. I think they sold it at like PacSun. But this, and it looks like there's a whole cottage industry of people like taking Champion sweatshirts and then kind of creatively dyeing or distressing them. And I think this is what I found. You can tell that this is intentionally bleach dyed here, right? You can see the kind of circles. But there's even like intentional like rips all over, you know, something like that. It's a 2XL and it's cropped. And you can feel in here, I would have to pull it out, but there is like a drawstring in this waist so somebody can kind of cinch it up. I have to do a little bit more research. If you know anything about these kind of aftermarket modifications, let me know. This feels very like intensely distressed, but I've seen like some on the resale market that are like $200. I've seen some that are $25. So I'm not sure where or what, you know, like how to tell which one is good and which one is not, but I just thought kind of style wise it was pretty cool. And it is 2XL. People love that like big oversized look. I couldn't leave it behind. I guess we'll all find out together. Next up, now I don't know if this one was a mistake. There is a brand called Denim & Supply. This is a defunct Ralph Lauren brand, and every piece I've ever gotten from Denim & Supply has sold lightning quick. They're nothing special. The construction is nice, the fabric, the materialization is nice, but I guess people really seek out these styles. Now, these are men's jeans. First of all, I've never had jeans, but I've also never had a men's piece from them. And you can only barely see it on that back patch. But these are a size 32-30, so it's an interesting size. I'm really interested to see how these do. I don't know if the men's are gonna move as well as the women's. I mean, for all I know, these could just sell to a woman. We've definitely got some distressing on them, but otherwise the jeans feel in really good shape. On my spreadsheet, I put $15. This was one of the pieces that I as I was going through, I'm like, should I have even kept that? But we'll find out. But regardless of these jeans, while you are out thrifting, keep your eyes out for that Denim & Supply tag. I'm not kidding. Like, everything I've ever found has sold within like 2 days. Quick. Oh, yes. Next up, the first of our very cool vintage pieces. Look at this. Isn't this stunning? It's like a little kind of sheath dress, like almost like a little wiggle dress, with a nice bateau neck. The tag on this, I remember searching it, yeah, the tag says 16. So I'm going to assume, now obviously this is a vintage 16. This is probably from, I'm going to guess, the 40s or 50s. It's like raw silk on the outside. I don't know if this is actual silk, but it has that look of like a raw silk. I'm gonna guess, if I'm just eyeballing this is a size 8 or a size 10. I'll of course put measurements on it. But here's what I want you to get your eyes on. Look, okay, first of all, the sleeves are about 3/4 length and they bell out a little bit, but get a load of this beading. It looks like diamonds. Isn't that beautiful? You can tell it's all hand done. I just think it is so stunning, and it's so, like, it's in fantastic condition. Like this, I mean, there's no dryness, there's no pulls on any of the seams. Like, this feels like it was maybe worn once and like stored correctly, which very rare in old pieces. I'll probably see $60 to $80 on this. And I think it'll just be a really like special piece that somebody buys for, $80 when you think about what you're paying for a dress for a formal event is pretty low, and it's going to be something that nobody else will have. I just think this is so beautiful. Next up, and I'm almost positive this is the end of the fresh produce pieces. This one's actually a dress. And it's just a cute little simple black long sleeve dress with these kind of big pockets in the front. They blouse out a little bit. I can just like see the woman who wears these clothes. This is in fantastic condition. It's a size large. Yeah, made in the USA. I want to do a little bit more research on this brand, but I can't wait to sell the first one and report back. Next up, this one was a really cool find. It is very wrinkled, but I felt the construction, and this felt really nice. The fabric felt really nice. In particular, felt this trim here, this kind of finishing work on the edge. And it's bound, it's really nicely done, so you knew that this was something high-end. But it's this pretty like celadon color. It's got draped front. This is something that will look much better once it's like on a body and has like something to drape over. The back I thought was so gorgeous. It's just this kind of like open V with these flaps. And I thought, like, when I picked this up, I'm like, there must be like a connector or something ripped off, but if you're looking at the finishing of this edge here, there was never anything on here. There was never a hook and eye. This was just meant to kind of drape open like this. And then I saw the label, and I think I'm gonna butcher his name. I don't know if I've ever said it right, but this is Max Azria, which you probably are familiar with from BCBG. And I think that was one of his, like a diffusion line for Max Azria. I've only found a couple of their pieces out there that aren't BCBG badged, And even like if I'm looking through Poshmark for comps, if I type in just his name, it's bringing up BCBG. Like, of course, you know, it was a mall brand, it was a high-end mall brand, and there was a lot of stuff out there. I'm assuming that, I don't know how long he did his own line. I don't know if this is something that's still going on, but I want to say that this was probably a $500 or $600 dress back when it was made. But, you know, I'm not sure what I'll get for it, maybe 50 or 60 bucks, but something with this level of construction, I'm always excited to find, because I know that there's going to be somebody out there that's looking for something really unique like this. Next up, another Zara piece. Guys, it's so weird for me. It really is so strange, but I couldn't leave this behind. This is this adorable little black slip dress. I mean, talk about the perfect little black dress. So it's got these spaghetti straps and kind of a cowl neck here that's just lovely. And then the straps crisscross in the back, and then the back drapes a little bit as well. Like, this is impossible to show. This is impossible to show on a camera, but it is in perfect condition. There's still like the, they don't use tag bars, but there's still this attached to the tag. So I'm assuming that this is essentially brand new without tags. Probably $30, $35 on this. I've seen other comps of like similar dresses from Zara in similar condition about there, but yeah, 30, 35 bucks. Next up, we've got this great double gauze shirt from Dylan. And I've had a couple of Dylan pieces before. Dylan is owned by True Grit, which is for sure a Bolo brand. True Grit is kind of like an American outerwear company. They're a little bit more of like a Western style. So is Dylan. But Dylan makes just really high quality basics. And honestly, I found a couple of their like cotton pieces, like their t-shirts or whatever, and they feel very similar to those Fresh Produce brand. That's maybe what I was thinking of when I found them, but definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. I've always sold things for a pretty good price. I'll probably get 35 bucks for this. You know, Dylan's an expensive brand. You'll see this in like higher end boutiques, in kind of mountain towns. Like one of my favorite stores back in Park City carried Dylan, and a shirt like this would have been like $148. They wash well, they wear well, they're very effortless, they're very timeless, they're very classic. You know, certainly a brand to be on the lookout for as you're thrifting, but also like if that is the kind of stuff that you are in the market for your own wardrobe, check out Dylan. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Next up, we've got another one of those cut loose tops, just in vivid orange now. I'm telling you, I blacked out. But you know, again, cut loose has proven to be a great brand for me. You know, really high quality, made in America. This, I think these are probably made to be like swim cover-ups. This also has that kind of like burnout rose pattern. Again, you know, probably 30, maybe 35 on that. And you know, maybe it'll sit until summer, but I'm always glad to find something that I know is going to sell for a pretty good price. Next up here, I've got this beautiful little cardigan sweater, and this feels absolutely positively brand new, unworn. This is a silk blend sweater from Tommy Bahama. You know, this probably will go for like $30, $35. But I love to grab Tommy Bahama just because the quality is so nice. You know, I know that this is a very expensive brand, and I know that it doesn't resell for nearly what it retails for. But I'm also in the business of getting people like really high quality basics for a great price. So happy to find this. This will for sure go pretty quickly. You know, probably 25, 30 bucks. But man, do I love the feel of a silk sweater, or do I love the feel of a silk sweater? Next up, this is another like beautiful kind of elevated basic. This is from a company called Waif. I believe they sell at Nordstrom. This is just a pretty, there's no size tag in here, but eyeballing it, I think this is a size small, but it's just a pretty black kind of hammered satin little shell top. And it's got this twist detail on one side, a pretty like bateau neck. Really simple. Again, feels absolutely brand new. Probably 20 bucks on that. Waif doesn't sell for all that much. It's not something that I would necessarily say go out and look for, but I just thought this was a really pretty style, and will probably move pretty quickly with the holidays kind of in the process right now. Next up, a great bread and butter piece. This is J. Jill Cotton Blend Sweater in XL. I love this little cardigan. I love these tiny little snaps. They're just as cute as could be. It's a pretty oatmeal color. It's in fantastic condition. It's got like gently belled out sleeves. This is something that should sell pretty quickly, probably 20, 25 bucks. J. Jill in a larger size always moves pretty quickly for me, and I get a lot of bundles on them, so happy to find those. We are getting there, guys. Next up, oh, this was a pretty, now this is not a brand that I grab all that often. I'm only really gonna grab this when it is kind of a significant fabric, and that's Sigrid Olsen. But these pants are silk. They're like a cream silk pant with a little like crisp crease in the front and back. I don't think these have ever been worn. This looks like a factory crease, and there are no like seat wrinkles on here. It's a size 10, so great size. You know, probably 35, 40 bucks on this. These are just so chic and in fantastic condition. And like, you think about the bins, right? We're digging through the bins. There's a million different things in there. There's a million different hands. When you see something that is like cream silk and it comes out without a spot, that's a little miracle. Like, I don't know. But I just thought that these were really beautiful and definitely something I wanted to grab. Next up is a little vintage piece I also might be keeping for myself. This is a brand called KWBL, and it's vintage from like the 80s and 90s. That's the little tag there. They are kind of known for making these like over-the-top t-shirts that you would see like a grandma wearing in the 80s. They would have like a big Navajo print t-shirt, just a regular t-shirt with like a big Navajo print, and it would be embellished with like puffy paint and like baubles and whatever. This is a very unusual style for them. It's just kind of like an oversized cream t-shirt with like a little like debossed pattern on it. I think this is like blowing out the camera a little bit, but super cool. It's a size medium. This is definitely like an oversized fit, and this looks brand new. Like, this does not look like it's ever been worn. So I think I'm gonna be keeping this, but if I were to sell it, I would probably get, I don't know, like 15 bucks for it, but it's something to keep your eyes out for as you're thrifting, because they do have a resale market for those kind of over-the-top t-shirts. But that is the label you're looking for, which I just think is a really fun little label too. Next up, we got another very cool vintage piece. Look at this. It's like a little lace topped, again, knee-length cocktail dress. I love this. This is just gonna kind of like frame the girls. It's got this beautiful like dark pink yoke with kind of like an eyelash lace trim, the teensiest little cap sleeves right there, zips in the back with a little peekaboo. I mean, this is in fantastic condition. Like, both of the vintage kind of special occasion dresses I found have been in really beautiful condition. I'm gonna guess, there's no size in here, I'm gonna say this is probably about a size 8. They're both kind of bigger sizes for vintage pieces, which is great to find. I mean, a size 8 isn't a bigger size, but it is bigger than you usually find in vintage pieces. Just in general, people were smaller back in the day, so you usually see a lot more like size 2, size 0. So to find an 8 and a 10 is very exciting. Probably 50, 60 bucks on this. Again, perfect condition, like not a pick on the lace at all. And the cool thing is, so it's got horsehair in the bottom to kind of keep its structure, but look at that seam allowance. So if somebody wants to get this and they're a taller drink of water, they've got the seam allowance to make it work perfectly for their proportions. That is always an exciting find. And it's not something you see almost ever on newer things. Next up, this is the last of the Zara pieces that I picked. I cannot believe how much Zara I got today. But I just thought that this was so cute. This is like a little brown cropped corset. It's a size small. It feels completely unworn. Are there bones? I thought there were bones in this. No bones. But it's got like a nice structure to it. There's no stretch. It's got a nice structure to it, and there's no stretch, so it's really gonna lend some support. It's got these kind of thicker straps. It's straight across. I think this is potentially in line right now. Maybe it was worn once, maybe. maybe it was never worn at all. I mean, the tag looks absolutely brand spanking new. Anyway, so it's just a very on-trend piece. You know, probably 15 bucks on this. This is probably only retailed for like 36, but I just know that this will be a pretty quick sell just because of the style. I think we've got about 3 pieces left here. Yep, 3 pieces left. So next up, look at this little wisp. I could not leave this behind. So this is, and I don't want to like remove the dry cleaning tab. This is a designer named Diane Fries. Can you see that label there? Let's look a little bit closer. Can you see that? And it's 100% silk, and it is this absolutely stunning floral print with a ruffle all the way around. Nice long sleeves that can be rolled up. You know, it's something that like I could never pull off in a million years, but I feel like there is some baddie out there that is going to be able to grab this and turn this into like a look. And I mean look spelled L-E-W-K. It's got shoulder pads, and it's again 100% silk, and it is in perfect condition. Looks like it was just freshly dry cleaned. And again, like the finishing on it is super high-end. Diane Fries was a pretty high-end designer back in the day. I don't know if she is still working, but you know, this was probably a good $300-400 back in the 80s when it was made. Just beautiful. Maybe early 90s. Maybe early 90s with this pattern. But it's super cool, and I really believe in my gut that there is somebody out there that is going to be able to turn this into something special. Next up, I found these and I just thought that they were so cool. They feel very artsy. They kind of feel like something like I would see an art teacher wearing, if that makes sense. It's these cool little like red overalls. This is from a brand called Dick and Jane, and I've never heard of it before. I've never seen it before. The quality is really nice. It's like the same color as those Paige denim jeans that I found. But this is a size small, and they feel huge for a size small. Like, they feel like they would fit me, and I am many things, but I am not a small. Really, really cute. I think that they were a small brand out of California. But again, like the quality is really nice. They're a little bit different. I might offer these to my friend who is also getting the vest, because this feels very much her style. But if not, you know, probably 30, maybe 40 bucks on these, just because of the quality. I thought that was such a cool find. And really, like, the quality of this denim is fantastic. And finally, our last piece here. This is a cute little cardigan from Guinevere. And Guinevere is an anthropology brand, and it's a size medium, which is good to find, because typically, well, not typically, but every piece that I've ever found from Guinevere is either an extra small or a small. And it's this cute little pointel cardigan. And it's, I mean, like the hook and eye that keeps it together is like heavy duty. Open that up a little bit. But it's got these beautiful ruffles around the edges. This is one of those brands that like, from Anthropologie, that still really has people that seek it out. It's just a very distinct kind of like fairy core look, and people just, it just kind of exists outside of trends. Like people who love this style still, you know, they just love this style. This is how they dress forever. But pretty little ribbed, you know, kind of cinch at the waist. It's got that pointel. You know, probably 30 bucks on this, and I think this will go pretty quickly. This was such a great find. I love finding one of your pieces. But that is it, guys. That is the haul. This was intense. I feel like I just blacked out even doing this haul. This was kind of a crazy week. Again, it started really slow, and it started to pick up. Like as soon as I found that Johnny Was in the bin that was about to be rolled away. Always check the old bins, guys. Always check them. You know, it really started, like the faucet turned on, right? So I found some really cool, interesting pieces. I can't wait to see like who gets this Diane Fries piece. But for all of you numbers nerds out there, retail value, and I'm really ballparking because something like this easily could have been $1,000 when it was new, but retail on all of these pieces is about $5,000. I put out $42. Again, I had the 42 pieces. I've got a couple pieces that are, going to be distributed to friends and family. But again, $42 for like $5,000 worth of clothing is insane. I'm anticipating sales on all of this between $1,200 and $1,400, which is a great day, considering I was really only in the bins for about 3 hours. But that'll bring my profit somewhere between $900 and $1,100. You're probably estimating about $1,000 all in. But that brings my ROI to a whopping 23x. So happy about it. Again, like any day, I'm so interested to see what happens with those fresh produce pieces. Even if they sell for $15, but they sell quick, I'm not going to be mad at it. Any day you can take $1 and turn it into 15. Like, I'll do that all day. I'll do that 300 times a day. Give me a pile of things like that. I will do that all day long. But guys, I so appreciate you being here. This is so much fun for me. I love having a community of people that I can share this stuff with, that are into the same weird stuff that I'm into. It's really cool for me, and I so appreciate your being here. If you had fun, don't forget to hit like. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to have you along on this journey. If any of these things look like something that tickles your fancy, I should have everything listed by the time this video is published. So I will have my closet link down below. I'll also have my Etsy shop link down below if you want to see some of the more like vintage houseware stuff. But without further ado, guys, thank you so much for being here. Have a fabulous week. Happy hunting, and I will see you in the next one.